It was one of those blistering midsummer days where the sun feels like it's personally trying to barbecue you alive. Out on my 40-acre ranch, the air shimmered like a heatwave mirage. I'd been meaning to finally fill the new in-ground pool I built near my barn, a well-earned reward after 2 years of renovating the property with my own hands. I hooked up the hose, leaned back in my chair, cracked open a lemonade, and smiled as the cool, blue water filled the pool. The sound was almost therapeutic. Then, I heard it, the sound of a golf cart squealing like a dying goose. Here she came, Karen, HOA president, self-appointed queen of control. Helmet of golden hair, sunglasses bigger than her soul, clipboard in hand like she was heading to court. She slammed her golf cart to a stop at my gate, stepped out, and shouted like she was leading a protest. "You can't fill that pool. That's against HOA water conservation policy." I blinked at her. "Karen, I'm not even in the HOA. This is private ranch land." She puffed up like an angry pigeon. "Oh, don't play dumb. We all share the same aquifer. You're stealing community water." Now, for context, my ranch sits outside the HOA boundary by a full half-mile. I have my own private well, fully permitted by the county. I explained this to her calmly. But reasoning with Karen is like arguing with a blender, all noise, no logic. She whipped out her phone, muttering, "Fine, I'll just let the authorities handle it." I laughed. "You're calling the cops because I'm filling a pool?" She glared at me with the fury of someone who just found out Starbucks was out of oat milk. "You'll see. You can't just do whatever you want around here." 15 minutes later, sure enough, I heard sirens. Not one, but 2 squad cars rolled up the dusty road to my ranch. I almost spit my drink laughing. She actually did it. Karen sprinted to them, waving her arms like an air traffic controller. "Officers! He's illegally filling a pool. He's wasting our water. He's breaking HOA law." The first cop looked bewildered. He glanced from her to me, to the half-full pool, to the open ranch fields stretching for miles. "Ma'am, HOA law? Yes, he's in violation," she barked. The second cop looked at his tablet, scrolled, then frowned. According to our records, this address isn't even within your HOA jurisdiction." Karen froze. "That can't be right. The map, he's stealing." "Ma'am," the officer sighed, "you can't enforce HOA rules on private property. This is a ranch. It's not under your authority." Her face turned bright red. She started sputtering. But he's wasting." Meanwhile, I offered the cops lemonade. "You guys look hot. Want to check the pool temperature?" They both chuckled and accepted. Within minutes, the tension melted. One of them even kicked off his boots, sat on the pool's edge and said, "Man, this is the nicest setup I've seen all week. You mind if I bring my wife next time?" "Sure thing." I laughed. "Just bring the donuts." Karen stood at the fence, fuming. You could practically see steam coming out of her ears. She yelled, "This is outrageous. You're supposed to uphold the law." The first cop calmly sipped his lemonade. "Ma'am, there's no law against filling your own pool on your own land. You might want to head home before you get cited for trespassing." "Trespassing? This is community oversight." The second cop raised an eyebrow. "Community oversight doesn't mean breaking onto private property, ma'am." She opened her mouth, then closed it. Her clipboard wobbled. Her hands shook. She muttered something about calling her lawyer and stormed back to her golf cart, tires spinning up dust as she sped away. The officers burst out laughing. "That woman's something else," one said. "Yeah," I grinned. "She thinks she's the sheriff of suburbia." We hung out for another 20 minutes talking about ranch life, cows, and HOA horror stories. Eventually, one of their radios crackled with another call. As they stood to leave, one of them said, "Hey man, you ever decide to host a pool party? Give us a call. We'll bring the grill." "Deal," I said. "You bring the badges. I'll bring the burgers." They drove off, waving, while Karen's furious voice echoed faintly from somewhere down the road. That weekend, I actually did throw a pool party. Neighbors, cops, even the mailman came by. We blasted music, grilled ribs, and every now and then, someone would raise a glass and shout, "To Karen!" The legend spread fast. So fast that even the HOA board told her to take a vacation. And every time I dive into that pool now, I remember the day Karen tried to ruin my summer and accidentally helped me host the most epic pool party my ranch has ever seen. Moral of the story: don't mess with someone's pool, especially if they're not in your HOA. Winking face.